It just turned 2025 like a month ago, I think, right? We're in 2025. Just making sure. You never know. Could be AI. And it turned 2025, and as soon as 2025 started, all my friends were sending me memes and videos about how 2025 is a special number. Did any of you see these things? And it was like, I kept getting the same one over and over. My friend called me up. She's like, Sammy, you would love this. 2025 is a crazy number. I'm like, why? She's like, because it's just crazy. I'm like, that's good. You don't have to say more. I'm like, why is it a crazy number? She's like, because it has all these crazy mathematical properties. I'm like, it's called a number. Numbers have properties. She's like, yeah, but did you know that 2025 is a square? I'm like, yes, some numbers are squared. That's something that happens from time to time. She's like, yeah, but it's a perfect square. I'm like, that means it's a square. So basically the same thing. I would know because I'm a square and I'm perfect. So thank you. You're too kind. You know, and I was like, I mean, these are all cool, but like numbers have properties. I'm like, did you know that 2024 is divisible by 2? And she's like, really? I'm like, see, you're just easily informed. That's the problem. She's like, but don't you think it's cool? It's 45 squared. Like 45 squared. What does that even mean? I'm like, it means like it's 45 times 45. That's what it means. She's like, but there's got to be like some significance. I'm like, I'm not a astrologer, man. I'm a guy who likes math. She's like, but 45 squared, gotta mean something. I'm like, I don't know, maybe it's like having the 45th of something and then having it again for some reason. I can't think of anything that would possibly relate to. Yeah, math brings the truth sometimes. I'm sure there's some smartass there like, actually, he's 47th now. Fine, then I'll come back and see you in 45 times 47, which is 2115. You're 2115, this joke will make sense. But to be honest, I really have been enjoying MAGA so far. Men arguing over government authority, that's what it stands for. Yeah, it's a lot of arguing. Elon is in the lead right now, President Elon, or if you want to call him Chancellor, I guess you could call him Chancellor. The dude did a Nazi salute, like straight up. That was a Nazi salute, and this has been verified by Nazis. And I'm going to listen to the Nazis on this one. That's not something I say very often. But on this one, I'm going to listen to the Nazis. Now, why he did it, I don't know if he was dog whistling. I don't know if he made a bet with somebody. I don't know what it was, but there's all this weird speculation. Like some people say he full on did a Nazi salute because he's a Nazi. Some people say he's just on the spectrum, you know, which is fair. I think he's both. I mean, I think he's on the Nazi spectrum. I think that's what it is. There is such thing as the Nazi spectrum. And the truth is we're all on it. It doesn't matter. There's two extremes. You're either zero Nazi, okay? Or I don't know which way you guys see this. You're zero Nazi, and then that goes all the way to proud Nazi, okay? And then all the way to full-blown Hitler, you know what I mean? But there's a big distance from point A to point B, and also from point B to point C, you know what I mean? And Elon, he's not A. We for sure know he's not zero Nazi. He's not A. He may or may not be B. I don't know, okay? But I don't think he's quite C, okay? So you could say he's a Nazi. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. But it's been interesting watching, you know, Elon's transition into power, you know, with Doge, Department of Gestures excused. Because, you know, everyone gave him a pass on that, like the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League. They should just change their name to Defamation League because they just talk about people, but gave Elon the pass because he's not a peaceful college protester. So, but yeah, it has been interesting to watch because Elon, you know, he for sure is pulling the strings behind everything because Trump has changed his position on a bunch of things already, and you can see the Elon influence. You know, like for instance, when it came to the H-1B visas situation, I don't know how you spent your Christmas, but I spent it watching men arguing over government authority. Because Trump has a lot of sound bites that are not too old that show him specifically saying he did not like H-1B visas. Like they're like, the H-1Bs are corrupt, we're gonna get rid of the system. And then all Elon does is like, you know, whisper in his ear a little bit, like tweet, 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 or XXXXXX or whatever. And then Trump changed his whole position. Like, he was like, I don't like the H1s. And it was like, suddenly he was like, oh, I love the H1s. I have a lot of H1s on my property. I got the H1N1s. I got the bird flu. I got the HVAC. I got the Preparation H. The HIV. The Triple H. All the H's. Where are all these H's coming from? They're leaving their words. They're crossing over the border. They're leaving their words. It's a huge problem. You notice Trump he never pronounces H because he's always miming it with his hands. He's like, it's huge, it's huge. But yeah, Trump totally flipped on that, after Elon, said his thing. And then Vivek Ramaswamy also too. Vivek got kicked out of Doge. That was kind of dope. Because Vivek got kicked out of Doge because he made too long of a tweet, basically, is what happened. I don't know if you guys know Vivek Ramaswamy, but he's, South Asian representation in politics. Listen, to be fair, Vivek does say a bunch of things that I do like, and he also says some things that are just great for comedy, so it works for me. I just wish that he wore sandals because he flip-flops so much. That wasn't racial, so relax, it could have been. But... So Vivek also has recent sound bites where he was like, I don't like H-1Bs, we're gonna get rid of it. And then, Elon whispers in his ear, XXXXX. And then Vivek puts out like a 3-page long Twitter post on basically saying that Americans are lazy and we celebrate mediocrity, which I would have been offended as an American, but I only read half of it. Damn, this post was too long, but it was a very out-of-touch post. If you saw it, it was really hilarious, because he opens it by saying, all right, it all comes down to the C word. Culture! Like, leave the jokes to the C words, Vivek, okay? And then he says, in our society, we celebrate the jock and not the math Olympiad, which I took a little personally, like, come on, man, people are coming to the shows. And then he's like, it's because our kids are spending too much time just chilling at the mall. I'm like, who's chilling at the mall in 2025? This isn't the 90s anymore, bro. And then he starts making references. He's like, because we celebrate Zach and Slater from Saved by the Bell. I'm like, who's reading this? I swear to God, the best part when he's like, it's because we put too much focus on Corey from Boy Meets World. I'm like, you talking to millennials and Gen X exclusively at this point? Like, I don't think most people get that reference. Like, Gen Z for sure did not watch Boy Meets World. Gen Z has not even met World. You know what I mean? Like, and they prefer not to identify as boy. Like, Gen Z, like if Gen Z had a show, it would be They Have Not Met World. You know? But it was just this very long-winded, weird post. But the thing is, when I read the first half, I was like, I don't disagree with this, because yes, there are a lot of hardworking American people, right? Yeah. Okay. See, 3 of them, right? We have 3 of them here, right? So you know who you are if you're a hardworking American, all right? But when you compare ourselves to other really hardworking nations, we don't actually cut it. You know what I mean? Like, if you think you're hardworking as an American, make a friend in China, okay? Like, you're not hardworking, all right? Get on Red Note tonight, okay? Get on Xiaohongshu and make a friend. You guys know Red Note? You guys not on Red Note? Okay. Okay, good. See? You're making hardworking friends. Good. And make a friend in China, and you'll see that they work very hard. Like, if you want to talk about the C word, okay? I think it's because Americans, we too often compare ourselves to Canadians and Europeans. You know what I mean? And Europeans don't really work that hard. They're completely closed on Sundays. Like, go try to order food in Europe on a Sunday. They'd be like, we're closed. You'd be like, are you religious? No, we're closed. And Canadians, bless you, but you work like quarter-day shifts and get free healthcare. You know what I mean? Like, if you have a Canadian friend, text them right now. Be like, are you working? And they'll be like, sorry, no. You know what I mean? Like, Canadians don't work as much. Let's face it. Like, even the best job in Canada, even like the highest, even like if you're like the dictator of Canada, even that person's like, I don't want to do this anymore. You know what I mean? That's funny because it's Trudeau. All right. I mean, yeah, like, I guess in the United States, we do have a work ethic issue. I mean, it's most exemplified in New Year's resolutions, you know? Right? Every year we make New Year's resolutions and we don't follow through. And on December 31st, everyone has a New Year's resolution. January 2nd, it's gone. You don't even remember what it was. Case in point, New Year's Day this year, January 1st, there was 2 terrorist attacks. And then after that, nothing. Like, everybody just gave up on their plans. Bad example, I'm just saying. Like, even ISIS gives up. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I don't know if you guys remember, there were 2 terrorist attacks on January 1st, and they were both terrorist attacks. And the reason I say this is because I have consistent logic. Okay? I don't know if you know this, on January 1st, a man plowed his car into a crowd in New Orleans, killing people. And then also the same day, a man pulled up his Tesla Cybertruck to Trump Hotel in Vegas and exploded it in front of people. These are both terror attacks because a person is using their vehicle to inflict harm on other people. However, the FBI is certain that the one in New Orleans is terrorism, but they're still not sure about the Vegas one. Now, if I could pull you up a picture of the suspects, maybe you could help me figure out why there might be some flagrant reason why they would suggest that one is clearly terrorism and one is not. The Vegas guy was white. I didn't even mean to, sorry, spoiler alert, the Vegas guy was white, okay? The FBI thinks it may have been mental health. So, yes, the New Orleans guy had an ISIS flag, but who doesn't nowadays? You know what I mean? Okay? Both of them used their vehicle to inflict harm. The guy in Vegas exploded his vehicle. And they're like, it must be mental health. You know what I mean? It's like, for real, like the guy in New Orleans, he had 3 divorces in the last few years. 3! You're not gonna give him 1 mental health shout out? Like, I'm not defending that guy, but if you're gonna say mental health, like apply it equally, you know what I mean? The crazy thing is both of those guys rented those cars. Yeah. They were both rentals, and they were both rented from the app Turo. Yeah, so at least we know it's Turoism for sure. We can say that. So it was an act of Turo. But you know, it just sucks that people didn't call out that double standard. And the left didn't help on this one. The left did not help because they're like, well, it was a Trump hotel, it's fine. You know what I mean? It's like, no. Like, call it out. That's both terrorism. And of course, because the guy in Vegas used a Tesla Cybertruck, Elon had to say something. Now, Elon's very good at calming things down on Twitter. By the way, when the H-1B thing happened, Elon is obviously a big fan of H-1Bs. And so when MAGA was arguing about H-1Bs, Elon made a tweet basically saying, he was like, I love H-1Bs. I'm here because of an H-1B, which I don't think is true. But then he's like, and I use H-1Bs. So if you have a problem with this, take a big step back and f*** yourself in the face. This is the President of the United States talking. You understand? This is not presidential language. He told everyone to take a big step back and f*** themselves in the face. And at first I was like, well, that's a really hard quote you pulled out. Then I actually looked it up. It's actually a movie quote. Take a big step back and f*** yourself in the face is a quote from Tropic Thunder, 2008. He quoted a Ben Stiller movie. Which is so ironic because if you know about Tropic Thunder, 2008, maybe not the best year to talk about the economy, but Tropic Thunder, the plot was Ben Stiller and some other actors, they were playing actors who played soldiers in a war movie. And their director wants them to do a better job, so he drops them off in an actual war zone in the jungle so they get real method, And so they're surprised, obviously, and now they're suddenly submerged in a real war, but they're just actors. Which is, I find it very ironic that Elon is using that quote because he's suddenly new to politics. He's like, I make Teslas, but now I'm ruler of the world. Like, okay, fuck yourself in the face. Thanks, Elon. And so he says that. And then, so after the Tesla Cybertruck thing, he comes out and we're like, what is Elon going to say? He's going to tell us to fuck ourselves in the face, isn't he? And he comes out and he's like, the knucklehead chose the worst vehicle to do a terror attack in. Everybody knows a Cybertruck would contain the explosion, and if anything, direct it upward. And everybody was like, damn. We haven't seen that kind of CEO energy before. Like, to be honest, like, people were very upset about that thing. Like, wow, I can't believe he said that. Like, I can. Like, it's very it's definitely better than yourself in the face. Also, like, I think that CEOs should defend their products like that. You know what I mean? But, like, we just have never seen that kind of being forthright, Like, can you imagine if after 9/11, the CEO of Boeing, just came out on, like, not Twitter at the time, because I don't know, AOL chat, I guess. And just came out and was like, the 757 is the worst aircraft to fly into a building. You kidding me? It explodes on impact. What a bad idea. It's flimsy. It's flimsy. It's bad. It's gonna crash. I was in one the other day. It's a bad idea. You're gonna find out about this in like 20 years. Don't worry. It's a bad idea. Or like after the Boston Marathon bombing, the mayor of Boston was like, the Boston Marathon's the worst marathon to bomb. The runners don't even want to be here. You know? Or like if after the Benghazi attacks, the then Secretary of State was like, the U.S. Embassy is the worst place to attack in Benghazi. I don't even check my emails. You know? All right, if you don't like that one, I'll delete it. I'll put it on a different server. You'll never find it. But yeah, it's been interesting. I don't have jokes for everything just yet. Like I'm catching up on like the RFK hearings and the Tulsi Gabbard hearing. And the thing is, you know, I watch everything with nuance. I don't like, I blanketly side with the left or the right. I don't do none of that. I like to watch with nuance and like do the mathematics. You know what I mean? Because when it comes to RFK, I do agree that America has a health problem and that Big Pharma is a big problem. But like, why is it the guy with brainworms who has to tell us that? You know what I mean? Like how bad is America that the brainworms guy is giving us a lecture on how to be healthy? You know what I mean? Because watching RFK, I'm gonna be honest, it's difficult to listen to him. Like, you know, like no slide, obviously he's been through a lot, but it's like if you had no idea, if you knew nothing about, if you like knew the basics about the Kennedys, you'd be like, oh, he's the one who got shot in the head. Like you would have no... What I don't get is that he's made very clear statements about how he feels about the vaccine, and he's totally backpedaling now at the hearings. It's like, dude, if you believe it, just say it. Like we'll never have a real conversation about these things unless you just say it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, they were grilling him hard. Like Bernie Sanders was like, did you wear the onesie? I don't know if you saw that, but like, RFK was part of a company that made onesies for kids that like were basically telling them to not trust the vaccine. You know, he's like, did you make this onesie that said Fauci lied, people died, or whatever it was? And it was just very intense. But he kind of backpedaled the whole thing. So I was just like, all right, this is going nowhere. It's just like, I need people to like say definitive things so I can make good jokes. You know what I mean? So this was not a good week for that. Oh, actually, no, there was something good. Did you guys hear about the Gaza condom situation? Yeah. So a few days ago, the Trump administration put out a statement that said under Biden, $50 million of condoms were sent to Gaza. Okay, which is a wild statement to make. Okay. Now, at first glance, you're like, okay, this sounds like something Biden would have done mistakenly. You know what I mean? Like, people do have to check his work, you know what I mean? You could see that conversation with Netanyahu. Netanyahu's like, yeah, there's no, what did Netanyahu say? There's no innocent Gaza, and then Biden's like, condoms. Like, what? Give them all condoms. But the Trump administration made this statement that $50 million of condoms were sent to Gaza, and there's no evidence to back that statement. There's been no proof to suggest that statement happened. There's speculation, and this sounds much more likely, that the condoms were sent to Gaza, which is a province or a region in Mozambique. Where they actually do send aid already. So that actually might make sense that they were sending it to Gaza, Mozambique, and then the Trump administration didn't just check the geography on that. You know what I mean? Which is kind of an important note before you just go out there and say it. But it's not like America would know the difference. You know what I mean? You tell Americans, you're like, we gave condoms to Gaza. They're like, Gaza? Where's that? They're like, you haven't been, you haven't been watching the news the last 2 years? Like, oh yeah, that place. And like, well, actually it was in Mozambique. Like, is that inside of Gaza? Like, okay, well. So it's not like explaining geography to Americans would help this. But yeah, I think that sounds more like, because at first glance to me, when I heard they sent $50 million of condoms to Gaza, my first thought was like, yo, trust me, I know Palestinians do not use condoms, okay? Like, trust me, right? Trust me. Trust me. We prefer, listen, Palestinians do not use condoms. Look at their population growth. That is not something you get with the use of condoms. Gazans need to multiply. That is their strategy to counter genocide, okay? Okay? Condoms or contraceptives are another form of genocide for Palestinians. You have to watch out. Yeah. If anything, Israel wants them to have the condoms. Israel's like, yes, give them $50 million worth of condoms. The administration started putting out these statements that, the $50 million worth of condoms went to Gaza and then Hamas used them for weapons. Basically saying Hamas was making condom balloons to launch at Israel. That's like kind of a bold statement. Trump probably said it. He's like, Hamas, they're using the birth control pills, they're using the condom, the IUDs. It's a whole artillery. It's called Plan B. But it's like, you know what? Call me old-fashioned. I think the whole Israel-Palestine situation could be solved if the Israeli occupation just pulled out. Trust me, that never fails. Tried and true. Your grandparents used it. Oh, no! Who said that? Who wants to fight? I'll fight you with my pinkies right now. I'll fight you! You are not fighting. Come on, man! Come on here. Come on, my friend right here. They say you look gay with that pink on right now. Ooh! Homophobia in progress. And impregnated your baby mama. He impregnated my baby mama. With 2 infants. They were already infants when they were inside the womb. Listen, I think you're funny. I do. Aside from the kind of homophobic thing, I'm not cool with that. Are you Muslim? You have a shot of tequila in your hand, sir. Y'all know that ain't funny. All right, make some noise if you agree with my man right here that I'm not funny. Make some noise. Now make some noise if you think that I'm funny. You know why? That because I understand the building is white. I'm just going to go ahead and cut to the chase. I'm running for president in 2036.
All right, everybody, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining. What a week. I don't know if you heard, but the Trump administration secretly obtained CNN reporter Barbara Starr's personal phone and email records, but all they found were fake nudes. The House approved a commission to look into the January 6th attack on the Capitol, 252 to 175. So 35 Republicans joined the Democrats in support of the commission, while the other 175 were too busy planning the next coup. I'm sure you heard this week, Egypt helped broker a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas and are now trying to get both parties to build trust, to which historians said, Egypt, please don't ask Israel to build anything else. 22 GOP-led states are ending the additional $300 a week employment benefits. Boo, right? It is a well-known economics theory, though, called trickle-down yous. This week, Texas lawmakers are trying to change their school's curriculum to downplay slavery and anti-Mexican discrimination. Like they say, everything is bigger and better in Texas except acknowledging their racist history.
Definitely.
North Korea's stockpiles of nuclear weapons has doubled in the last 4 years. So take this as a warning, Pacific Ocean. Kim Jong-un has banned skinny jeans and mullets in North Korea. So there goes Def Leppard's last chance at a comeback. In other news, Matt Gaetz' ex-girlfriend says she's willing to cooperate with the feds in his sex trafficking investigation. But it's going to have to be during recess. Now, moving on, we have an amazing guest today. He's a politician, activist, and he's run in every presidential election since 1992. Everybody, please help me give a nice, warm welcome to the one and only Vermin Supreme! And there he rides in on the most majestic creatures on the planet.
Are you ready, ponies? How about you, pony? Are you ready? Okay, And how about you, Pony? Are you also ready? I thought you might be. All righty, ponies. Let's go. Get up, ponies. Faster, faster, faster. Whoa, ponies. Now,
Incredible.
Welcome.
hi. I like ponies. They're nice ponies. Do you like ponies? Excuse me, ponies. I need to get in here to do this interview. If you could just back up a little bit, that would be great. Ponies.
Beautiful.
Hi.
Thank you so much.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Vermin Supreme from the internet.
Thank you for booting up today with us.
Thank you. Thank you, Sammy. And thank you for having me on your television program here today. It's a pleasure to be here. I've been really staying away from this whole podcast format. Got
Right.
a little burnt out on it during the election year, man. I was like doing 2 or 3 a day. That. Asking questions, having to give answers, having to give real answers, having people like care, like what you're saying for an answer, like it means something.
I can assure you, Vermin, every question I ask you today, I don't give a shit about.
Well, thank you. I truly appreciate that, and I appreciate the fact that that this is a moving picture, if you will.
So, how much is Big Dental paying you?
Not enough, my friend. Not enough. I am a citizen dental advocate. I just believe that we as a country must unite behind the war on plaque. It's the only choice that we have. Otherwise, we would be a bunch of toothless bastards, if you will.
I really respect that. And you're the only candidate I've ever met who's brave enough to speak out about it openly, open-mouthed.
Oh, yes. Yes. I would go through the whole gingivitis has been eroding the gum line of this great nation of ours for long enough, but that's sort of played out, or no? I don't know. Yeah, I think so.
Do you do you have a regimen? Anything you can recommend? Some tips for the little folks like us?
Well, all I can say is if you don't floss, it is your loss. Flossing is a very underappreciated part of the dental hygiene regimen that every American or human being with teeth should certainly participate in. The gums are very, very important, and you don't want to mistreat them. So yes, flossing is, of course, now people will say, Vermin, you're all about the mandatory toothbrushing law. What about flossing? And unfortunately, I do believe that it's politically not the right time for that legislation. Sure, it would pass the House, anything will, but I think it would really get gummed up in the Senate. So therefore, I'm pushing forth the mandatory flossing at this time.
I love it. I'm on board. You have my vote, Vermin.
Well,
now,
you be on board or be waterboarded.
Oh, we're going to get to that for sure.
And of course, the waterboarding will include fluoridated water. I think we clarified that quite some time ago.
Of course, it'll come directly from Flint. Now, you've run in every presidential election since 1992. You've run under Republican, Democrat, Independent, and most recently Libertarian. So what is the key to a good quinceañera party?
Those are true things. I'm sorry, what was the last word? What?
What is the key to a good quinceañera party?
Ah, yes, of course. Well, you need a young woman, 15 years old, ideally. I think that's sort of the breaker. Yeah. You know, if you ain't got that, then you ain't got no party. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, you need to find the proper aged woman who and I think we would go through Matt Gatz for that, right? I think you could probably connect us. So, and of course, you probably want a pony. Probably want a pony. Probably want a pony. Probably want a piñata. Maybe a pony piñata, perhaps.
Yes.
The pony piñata would be appropriate. Stuff and a bunch of friends, balloons. You want balloons. You got all those things. Yes.
Now, given the
make a party.
I love it. Now, given, of course, the growing Hispanic demographic in the United States, would you be willing to change your policy to free burro for all?
Once again, we have considered this. I believe the boroughs would be more likely issued to immigrants crossing the border. And to differentiate them, I mean, I'm not saying it would be a stigma at all, not at all. But I'm just saying it would be a certain poetry to it. Yes.
Absolutely, a cultural pride, if you will. So, of course, you have big plans for time
Now,
travel.
you're not trying to make an of me, are you? Bad joke.
Oh, no, not at all, not at all. Speaking of drug mules,
Speaking of drugs,
there,
it's the Vermin Supreme glass pipe. Available on my website, verminsupreme.com. Check it out. You pack my belly. The feet are their carburetor, just like in real life, and you
Beautiful.
get to suck on my boot, just like in real life.
And he lights. Everybody, come on now. This is television history right here. Now, of course, you smoke on the live stream quite often. You have your own program called High Noon. I have my own program called Highest Truth, where I get high and attempt to solve problems.
That sounds very exciting. I don't worry about any problems, but that's good. Yeah, 4:20. Yeah. High Noon with Vermin Supreme. Yes, it's at noon every Saturday Eastern Standard Time. And it is what it is. It's sort of a spin-off of my Facebook live streams, which I started approximately a year ago, and they were much more steady. And essentially, they were consisting of nature walks, myself walking through the woods and speaking in calming tones to people. It was at the time when a lot of people were freaking out and having some serious situations with the COVID and trying to figure it out. And so I made it a public service that I would simply walk through the woods and show people nice scenery and find a body of water with reflections generally. And I still do it occasionally. It's much more random and every so often. But the High Noon with Vermin Supreme show, which was something that my social media people said I needed to do. So yeah, okay, I'll do it. And of course, it's a very low impact show. It's barely a show. I mean, I don't even want to call it a show, but it's a time that I get together with I don't know, maybe 25 viewers that tune in, and we just chat. I know it's very low impact, it's very low key.
That's awesome.
And it's a nice connection that I feel like I make with my people. Yes.
Well, we'll drop the link in the comments. You can check out High Noon on Vermin's channels. And how often are you high? Are you high every day of the week, 24/7? Smoke weed every day, every other day?
I'd say every day, especially since the great state of Massachusetts legalized the ability to grow our own. And so now you can grow your own and grow a year's supply pretty much and save thousands of dollars a year. It's a very wonderful thing. I probably am about maybe a gram a day, if that. So yeah, about an ounce a month, about 12 ounces a year, I guess, if you wanted to do the mathematical equations.
Gram a day keeps the dentist away, as they say, right?
Yeah.
Now, as you may know, I'm running for president in 2036, so obviously we're going to, see a lot more of each other that year. Now, I have my own policy regarding marijuana. I think it should be mandatory for every citizen to smoke at least once between the age of 18 and 21, and have a very uncomfortable conversation with your parent, if you can, while you're high. It's going to be a mandatory program. You literally have to have proof. You have to video record the whole conversation with your parents or guardian at that time, 18 to 21. How do you feel about a mandatory marijuana policy?
Well, of course, in my friendly fascist persona, I am all about the mandatory things, toothbrushings and the like. As a legitimate real world libertarian candidate, naturally, I am against anything mandatory. And of course, it's a very interesting thing because, of course, I am known primarily as a satirical candidate, as a parody candidate, as a candidate who don't give a and says stupid things all the time. And when I was seeking the Libertarian Party nomination, interestingly enough, a lot of the more serious people, because there are a fair amount of very literalist people thinking there, they had a real problem with that. And it was a very interesting dynamic for us to try and present the idea that it was a very good idea to make me their presidential nominee. And yet, for some reason, a lot of these people felt that I was making a joke of them, or that people would perceive it to be a joke party. And we had to come up with a very strong strategy as to why a serious party could actually put up an individual perceived to be a joke candidate and not have that stick to them. And we came up with this whole in on the joke. It was a hashtag. We made educational materials, and we were trying to explain to the potential delegates the wisdom in utilizing my joke satirical candidacy as a way to draw attention and bring in the youth, and really produce something that had never been done before on that level in a real presidential campaign. Ultimately, it failed, I guess. I don't want to say it failed, because it was very successful on a lot of different levels. I mean, ultimately, we did change the culture and the thinking and the perceptions of regular people about the Libertarian Party. Because naturally, I mean, it took me a long time to reach a point where my own left-leaning social anarchist felt comfortable meshing with the Libertarian Party and the Libertarian Party platform. Because, I mean, I always thought the Libertarians were scumbags, quite frankly, and they were nasty people and greedy people and all of these things. But ultimately, in my many years of evolving and dealing and meeting these people, I found that that was only partially true of a certain segment. But a lot
the ones
of
who didn't vote for you. Yeah,
especially them. In fact, there was recently a Twitter poll on who was the greater libertarian, myself or Lou Rockwell. And naturally, I crushed it, because I tend to crush all Twitter polls. And a lot of the more serious, hoppy, and conservative leaning libertarians who have a real problem with me for some reason, they didn't like it one bit. I mean, because me, I'm like, oh, I'm Vermin Supreme. Everybody loves me. But the interesting fact is, no, I have a lot of haters, but I think they still like me.
That's good. That's amazing. And you know, now that you are associated with Libertarian Party, I imagine you would consider the two-party system a problem. And if that is the case, how do we fix it?
Well, I've always considered the two-party system to be a serious problem, and of course, that is one of the points that I've been trying to draw attention through my candidacy and campaign. And of course, it is essentially been like pissing on fish in a barrel, because it's just so stupid and so obvious that I just like, there it is. And of course, I do believe that third parties are quite possibly and quite likely a possible solution. There are certain limitations as to how the government framework has been put together through the Constitution and through practice and stuff. And, you know, it's a representational democracy, which theoretically should be fine. But of course, there's a lot of these tinkerings and a lot of these current laws. There's an attack on democracy and an attack on voting itself, with a lot of this legislation being put forth. And so it is an ongoing dynamic situation. There's tension, it's a struggle, and there's a fight. And of course, myself as a goofball satirical candidate, I'm not really, I don't need to have any solutions. I don't need to have any grand answers to anything, which is the beauty of it. Now, it was a very interesting dynamic. Once again, I'm going to call forth my libertarian candidacy, because during the primaries and all the debates at all the state conventions, I found myself in a situation where, as a candidate, I had to not only give answers to the questions in a libertarian fashion, but you also had to give them with conviction, as if though you really knew what you were talking about, as if you really did have the answers. And you know, sometimes I'd be pulling things out my and yet trying to sell them in a very serious fashion.
So the opposite approach of Gary Johnson.
Well, a little bit. I mean, there was this, I was still allowed to be funny. I still allowed myself to throw in a bunch of zingers and entertaining commentary. But ultimately, I was having to prove that I was a more serious person with a more serious take on things. I had to develop essentially almost a new character, serious vermin.
Yeah.
Which was a totally different way of communicating. I mean, I believe that what I have done over the years has, I've developed a communication strategy that has been very successful in allowing me to amplify my First Amendment free speech voice and reach so many, millions of people across the planet that I never would have if I was just a normal guy wearing normal clothes, normal things on a street corner. It's just too easily dismissed. And
Yeah.
so ultimately, I was able to parlay this notoriety of being a street activist and having no constraints, if you will, because ultimately that's a little bit of it. I can do whatever I want. I go, it doesn't matter. I mean, the people who enjoy it really like that. And yet, but it put me in a position where I was able to actually make a legitimate offer to a legitimate political party that it was reasonable to utilize my candidacy as a way to propel their message forward. Ultimately, they said no way, but nonetheless, when all was said and done, 1 year ago today, I came in third and received 20% of over 1,000 delegates that agreed.
That's amazing.
And so I think from the position that I started being a completely satirical parody candidate to somebody that almost became a real politician, it was crazy. It's fucking crazy. But of course, it wasn't my idea, and I was recruited. There were certain libertarians, my campaign managers and staff. They approached me, and I don't think they were doing it just to with the party. No, I think they really believed genuinely that it was a good idea, and
Sure.
I tend to agree.
And now, having gone through 8 elections, and your last goal for the last election was to get 5% of, I believe, the entire American population, right?
Well, once again, that was one of the selling points. If I was the nominee, that I could get 5%.
Yeah, I'll take some.
The
Yeah.
vote. There you go. Thank you. And that was a goal for sure. Ultimately, my previous goal, I think the most serious goal, was to achieve the threshold for federal election matching funds. That was if you were able to reach a certain threshold with a certain number of donations, then you would qualify for doubling up that money by the feds, by their tax money, by your tax money. Thank you very much. But we sort of blew that off. But I raised over $80,000 in the last election cycle for my campaign, which was ultimately, that was more money than I had spent on every other campaign put together combined. And it was amazing. That so many people were so generous with their money because they saw the possibilities that it gave us.
Now, what's your goal for this next election? Do you have one?
Ultimately, that is undecided. I don't have a real goal. It really depends what kind of campaign that I will be running and what the objectives will be. I mean, obviously, with the Libertarian run, I had to make certain concessions. Notably, I could not put myself on the New Hampshire primary ballot. And over the years, that's where I've gotten quite a bit of my publicity, from being on the New Hampshire primary ballot. New Hampshire being the first in the nation primary with just an outsized amount of attention being paid to it. And by putting up that $1,000 and getting on their ballot, I came in third. I've come in fourth. I've beat actual former governors. And but because I was seeking the party's nomination, I could not do that, and instead won the New Hampshire Libertarian Party primary.
And well deserved, no doubt about it. And now I know you're a big proponent for time travel research. I imagine you haven't found a machine yet, because otherwise you probably would have already be
Well,
president
Fred,
by now.
let me
Yeah.
tell you this right here, right now. It's
Yes.
all here in my book, Blueprint for a New America. I Pony, Blueprint for a New America. It is a story about life long after a vermin supreme presidency, after everyone has their pony, after the secret dental police have set up checkpoints every couple hundred yards, and after zombies fuel the nation. It is a warning from the people of the future to you, the people of their past, your present, that Vermin Supreme is a madman and must be stopped. It's all here. And it's a wonderful book. It has all sorts of exciting illustrations.
Ooh.
It was one of these opportunities where I was able to reach out to a bunch of people that I just am big fans of, and was able to ask them to do stuff for artwork. There's a zombie turbine facility. You can see the giant,
Very sad.
and there's the zombies, and they're marching, and there is oh, and of course, yes, a warning, not safe for work. There is some gratuitous pony erotica
Ooh.
in this book that your viewers would certainly enjoy.
They would. That's amazing. We'll put the link to your book in the comments. Now, aside from the obvious war on zombies, what other
people need to be aware that
Yeah.
they think they're going to take out a zombie, they're going to do the headshot because traditionally that's what the media has told them to do. But
Right.
friends, if you take that headshot, you are rendering that zombie unsuitable for energy production, because we need them in their entirety. If we are going to harness their awesome power of perpetual motion, chasing those dangling brains, you can't blow their brains out, because they won't work anymore.
So then what is the halal way of murdering a zombie, if you will?
Well, you're not. It's a capture. It's sort of like carbon capture, but
see.
with zombies. So you're trying to capture the zombies. You may remember
For the
when
internment camps, yeah.
Homeland Security, Tom Ridge, he was telling people to go out and buy duct tape and plastic to put over your windows to keep you safe, or some nonsense like that. Quite frankly, that was a very low tech zombie capture technique that he was describing. You just get a big sheet of plastic and a couple friends, and you just wrap them up and duct tape them. Boom, they ain't going nowhere.
Okay, so stock up on duct tape, noted. I like that you bring awareness to issues that, most politicians are just terrified to bring up to the public. So in that same vein, what would you say are the biggest problems that are plaguing American society right now?
Plaquing American society. And of course, it is indeed gingivitis, aka plaque, that is truly a drag on this nation's economy and lifestyle. We can only imagine how many marriages have dissolved over bad breath. Of course, I've heard a little bit about this COVID thing, and of course, I was and am the only candidate who will make COVID against the law. Very true. I will create COVID-free zones because these free zones work so well with the guns and keeping out drugs and stuff. So we would make the COVID-free zones. I will go back in time and kill baby COVID. I do also propose building a microscopic antimicrobial antiviral wall around this great nation of ours, and follow that up by digging a moat that will fill with hand sanitizer. Thank you. I'm Vermin Supreme. And of course, the lack of time travel, the lack of zombie awareness, all of these things, and the other ones, and the lack of ponies, for goodness sake. America ain't got no ponies. What's up with that?
Yeah, I hate to you really get all sentimental right now, but there's this farmer's market that I used to go to all the time, and because of all the new COVID restrictions, they took away the pony farm. And honestly, it breaks my heart every time I go there.
That is very sad. Well, now that we've cured COVID, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Hopefully we'll be able to bring those ponies back, unless there's some sort of pony COVID that we don't know about.
You're always one step ahead, Vermin Supreme. And that's what makes you my choice candidate for the 2024 election. And that smells delicious. I can catch your aroma.
Thank you. Oh, it is a very good one. Yes, it's interesting that you're planning on running in 36 because it's I've been looking very hard in my prediction chart because I'm sort of picking up a little steam with every election cycle, and because my stakes are sort of rising and America's stakes is sort of going down. I figured they would cross somewhere. And that particular year, 36, was where I was feeling that I might actually be elected. But now that you have thrown a monkey wrench in the entire works, well, I'm just going to have to go back in time and kill you as a baby. I hope you don't mind.
As long as you take out COVID in the same trip, we're good.
Absolutely.
COVID and Cobaid, no big deal. Vermin, we're gonna play some game. We're gonna play a game right now. Are you down for a game?
I thought we were playing a game here right now.
No, this was the honest, sincere portion of the show. We're now gonna get real fun and silly. We're gonna bring out our.
I better get stoned for
it. You better. Well, Vermin is lighting up. Let's bring out our resident game show host, Mr. Keith. Speaking of, yeah, yes. Exactly.
Hello, Vermin. How you doing?
Hello, Keith. How are you today?
I'm doing
Welcome
excellent.
To the show.
Yeah, thank you. Welcome to the show as well.
Thank you.
Sam, how you doing?
I'm doing really well. How are you these days?
I'm doing great these days. We had a good weekend. I'm good.
Nice. I'm glad to do. Any highlights of the weekend?
This is my highlight.
All right.
Not bullshit. Like,
all right. Are you now? Have you had trouble adjusting from all the COVID craziness to like a place where like it's sort of not so crazy?
No, I adjusted pretty well. I like being inside of my house, so I adjusted pretty well.
That's good. I mean, a lot of people, flat out traumatized. Ultimately, I mean, it was like it was quite an event, and it did freak a lot of people out in a pretty hard way. And I think a lot of people are having, if not difficulty, at least a little bit of work readjusting to how things should be.
Yeah, no, I definitely, try to keep that in mind. Everybody has not been able to handle this pandemic the way that I have. Not like I've been handling it excellent, but I've made it.
No, that's what you said, Keith. That's what we have.
That sounded
that's
very,
what the edit.
Good. Like
that's what the final edit's gonna say. Keith's got COVID. That's actually gonna be the caption of the whole episode. Keith's got this COVID thing down. We have a guest appearance by Vermin Supreme while Keith is just holding down COVID.
So Keith, you have a crossword puzzle for us today?
No, I actually it's not a crossword puzzle. So as you both are going to be running in 2036, we wanted to prepare you for the constituency that you'll be trying to win over that year. So these are issues that will presumably be important to 5-year-olds in 15 years. So I'm gonna give you all this topic. I'll start with you first, Sammy.
I have a clarifying question. Yes. Do these 5-year-olds, do they remain 5 years old for 15 years? Or do
that's depending on how your time travel research goes, Vermin.
Okay.
Yes.
So if they're 5-year-old today, you're adding 15 years, which you're making them voters, 20 years.
And I would like to point out, I've just been banned on TikTok, so you have a clear-cut advantage here, Vermin.
No way.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that. I am huge on fucking TikTok. I don't even go on TikTok, but we have a channel there, and there's like, I don't know. Last I knew, there was like 15 million freaking hits on the hashtag.
Amazing.
So I'm going to give you both a topic. Sammy, I'll start with you. You get to give us your stance, and then Vermin, you will have a chance also. First, the issues on everyone's mind is cooties. What plans do you have to quell the ongoing cooties epidemic?
Now, when I was in elementary, this was back in the 80s, and it was really a backward time. There was this rumor amongst my small circle of friends that girls started cooties. And I later found out years later from a group of girlfriends that guys started cooties. And then I realized that it became this cycle of blame gender. And now we live in a world where gender is non-binary. Gender is a spectrum. So we all just need to embrace each other's cooties. And the sooner that we give each other cooties, we won't have to worry about it. The only vaccine to cooties is getting cooties. And I will stand by that as your president.
All right. Give a hug, pass the bug. I like that. I like that a lot. Vernon,
Booty rhymes with booty.
what is your stance on cooties, and how do you plan to handle the epidemic of cooties?
Well, I believe that cooties are simply not an epidemic. Now, back in my age, when I was a young person, there was indeed the very famous Milton Bradley cootie game. I believe it was a game. Do you remember this game? It was made of these plastic insectoid-looking figures. They were big. They had the abdomen, and you would like spin the dice or play this, knock the thing and stick the legs in, and you would win whoever built the cootie first. Do you know this, you kids? Look it up. Look it up on the internet. Look right now. Type in cooties Milton Bradley right now, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Because cooties were a great American pastime. They were very popular. Everybody had one, and I believe that everyone should have one today. Yet still, it's a very wholesome pastime for kids of all ages. Cooties by Milton Bradley.
Wow.
All right. All right.
This is going to be a lot harder than I thought.
I believe lots of DDT. I think we should be using lots of DDT.
All right.
For skin, on our skin, I just wanted to get a clip.
For the cootie epidemic, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
I've seen historical photos of people spraying it all over themselves, and
Yep.
It looked.
Yep, I've heard those rumors as well. Yeah.
Fun.
All right. So next topic. Some of your constituents are calling for 364 more Halloweens per year, while others want increased Christmases and birthdays. What is your plan to ensure everyone gets candy and presents 2036? Vermin, we can start with you.
Well, let me say this about that. As a politician, we tend to like to preface things by saying words that don't really mean anything, and sort of, while we really mull over the actual question and the actual answers that we may want to give. So, Sammy, I hope you're taking notes here. That's a very important part about answering any sort of question, even though you may have a feeling how you might want to answer it, but you might not know exactly how you want to answer it right off the bat. So essentially, it's a lot of qualifying, a lot of saying nothing while you're saying something, and then you're saying, then you eventually have to either deflect and not dodge it and not answer the question at all, or somehow address the actual context of the question. And so in response to your question, yes, I believe all Americans love presents. They all deserve presents. They all deserve candy as long as they use it judiciously and brush their teeth and floss in accordance with local legislation and laws. I believe, and as an anarchist, of course, I am a strong proponent of the gift economy. Gifting things to people is indeed a very important part of mutual aid itself. And sharing is indeed caring. And we can help take care of each other's needs and wants and desires by, careful consideration. I mean, how can we make someone's life easier? By gifting them something, by giving them something they need. As a matter of fact, we here at the Vermin Supreme Institute today opened up my friend Chris Rogers, who's the director of our public works department, opened up a food pantry in his own workshop/garage, where he just saw a need and he wanted to give back to the people. And so he just got a bunch of shelves and went down to the dollar store and dropped a couple $100 on food and distributed it today. There were 5 families came in, and he was able to gift them with food. And I believe that piñatas are truly the best distribution system for candy available to man. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Got to work for it.
Sammy?
All right. I acknowledge that was a fantastic response. I'm not gonna take anything away from that. I agree with everything that Vermin said. I would also like to note that I opened a food pantry as well today, and I took 3 cookies out and then I closed it and went on with my business, which is planning things for 2036. Now, Keith, you addressed a very serious problem. A lot of people want Halloween, but a lot of people want Christmas and birthdays. Yeah. Now, how are we going to remedy this for everyone to make it work for every American? And I'll tell you what, we found a way to do it. We will make every day of the year Halloween, but we will add the right to choose to dress up as Santa and deliver presents to as many people as you want. And also, you can dress up as the date of your birthday. And if you dress up as the date of your birthday, it suddenly becomes your birthday. And you can also dress up as the date of Christmas. You can dress up as any of the many dates of Hanukkah, Ramadan, any holiday that you want. You can dress up as that date, and suddenly it becomes that holiday while it's still maintaining Halloween 365. Because I believe that every American not only deserves, but is entitled to presents. And therefore, in 2036, I will not only be your president, but I will be your president.
Oh, wow.
And may I have a short follow-up?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to remind you that mandatory mask laws make every day Halloween.
All right, next one. And now the debate is getting more serious, so the rules are getting stricter. You have 40 minutes. I'm sorry, not 40 minutes. That is crazy. 40 seconds to respond. All right, each of you get 40 seconds. Our underbeds and closets are running rampant with boogeymen. How can you assure us we'll be able to sleep at night? Sammy, you first. 40 seconds.
I just want to tell you that I have a very close personal connection to this. Growing up, I was haunted by not only one boogeyman underneath my bed, but one in the closet. And they were there every night. And I spent a lot of nights being sleepless and just wondering if there would ever be a better day. But I'll tell you what, every morning that sun rose up and I got out of bed and the boogeyman were gone, because daylight defeats the boogeyman. Okay. And now, we're in a different area. It's not just boogeymen, it's boogie women as well. There's boogie they thems. There's all sorts of boogie-ish creatures, and they're there. And they're defeated by sunlight. Now that we have LED lighting and we have the ability to create fake lighting using our amazing solar power panels, which I'll be investing in 2036, we can recreate sunlight in any moment and defeat the boogies right in your room right now.
Thank you. Thank you, Sammy. That was well. Vermin, it's your turn, sir.
Well, I believe that we can deprive the boogie monsters of their environment simply by sawing the legs off of everybody's bed. If the beds are on the floor, they're the only way that the boogie monsters, unless they're really, really skinny ones that slide under there somehow, I think that will solve the problem right there, and I stand by it. Thank you very much. A massive project for America of sawing off everybody's legs off their beds. Doable. Oh, wow. Totally doable.
Did he finish with
common sense solutions for common sense problems? I'm Vermin Supreme.
That was great.
And I'm just going to use whatever time he has left over to say he didn't address the costs of sawing, which is a lot. But just know that we can just talk all day about how easy things are, but he didn't address the cost of sawing.
Unfunded mandates are the best mandates there are.
All right. How do you plan to tackle unfair timeout practices? Vermin, you first. Again, 40 seconds.
I've already called it. Already called it. Timeout. Nope.
Is it already timeout?
I called timeout. The clock stopped, right? We stopped the clock.
You got 13 seconds on the clock.
No. I stopped the clock. I called timeout. No, wait. You told me I could call timeout. Now the clock is running.
I asked you your plan for the timeout.
My plan was to have a timeout. What do you mean?
Oh, wow. So you're implementing all.
I can't. You asked me a question about timeout. Well, I was hoping to go meta.
If you're president, you can go against that. You can make timeouts mandatory. Sammy, do you have a rebuttal?
Can you ask the question one more time?
Yes. How do you plan to tackle unfair timeout practices?
Yeah. A lot of friends, family members even, I know have been sentenced to unfair timeouts. We have a lot of erroneously convicted timeout servers in the timeout system right now. And you know what? Time's up. We can't deal with this anymore. We need better judges in our timeout system and better timekeepers, because honestly, timeouts historically have been run on a very subjective time meter. They're usually not measured by stopwatches or clocks. They're usually measured by a mother's counting. And that counting can often be extremely unfair. We're going to stop that and replace it with stopwatches and better judges other than your family who's making you timed out.
All right. I think that was good. So I'll move on to the next one.
Oh, I'm sorry. I put myself in timeout.
I was wondering what was going on, Vermin.
Facing the wall. Yeah, I wasn't turning my back to you per se. It was a comedy bit. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Your next one.
Obviously, I missed the context of that timeout. I went somewhere else, obviously, but
No, you are fine. You want timeouts, and so that's your plan.
I was going sports. I was thinking sports. I wasn't going with the parental discipline thing.
You're out of this time.
How do you plan on fixing all of the boo-boos, scrapes, and lumps and bumps? And do you support Yo Gabba Gabba Band-Aids for all?
Listen. I'm going to show you right now.
You're kissing all the boo-boos.
I hope I made that better.
Thank you, Sammy.
Listen, I don't make light of boo-boos. I don't think it's a funny situation. There's people who have boo-boos right now who are suffering. There's people in timeout right now with boo-boos. And we can't leave them behind. Often we're just like, we got to move forward on all of these projects. My opponent here, he wants to create zombie camps when there's still American children who have real undeniable boo-boos. Let's fix the boo-boos first, then we can focus on things like time travel.
Wow. Well said, Sammy. That was well said. Do you have a short rebuttal, Vermin?
What? Are you crazy?
All right. Last topic. Not the last topic, second to last. So our walls, TVs, and hardwood floors have been abandoned by parents and adults everywhere. Do you support the Freedom to Scribble Act? And that's to scribble on walls, on concrete, on hardwood floors, on parents themselves. Do you support the Freedom to Scribble Act? Sammy, go first.
Scribbling is protected under the First Amendment, okay? A lot of people don't know that. It is the freedom of speech, right to peacefully protest and scribble, okay? And a lot of people are like, I never saw that. I never saw that under the First Amendment. Yeah, because they scribbled it onto the Constitution and you couldn't read that part because scribbling is part of being an American. Every sacred document that founded this great nation was a bunch of people's scribbles. So I will always support scribbling as it is the American way.
Thank you, Sam. And Vermin?
Yeah, exactly what he said, and then some more. Okay. Parents just got to be a little careful. Pay a little more attention. I mean, you give the freaking kids some crayons and walk away. I mean, come on. What do you expect? You're asking for that sort of.
I agree.
Give them invisible ink or something. But yes, I think that's very important. Expression is very important. Free expression is very important. And yes, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Scribble
Okay.
away.
So you both agree on that point. All right.
We're
So
both pro scribble.
Yes, and once again, Sammy, do you have any kids?
I do not.
Me neither. All you people with kids out there, you know what we're talking about.
so
Scribbling on the
speaking
walls.
of kids,
Your kids scribbling on the walls.
the
Oh,
last thing I have for you two, and this is a question coming from your voters again. What do you say to the question, can I have a cookie?
you just had a cookie.
But what if they want another cookie?
You're gonna spoil your appetite for dinner. Can't you wait until after dinner? Who am I kidding? Have a cookie. Have a cookie. Have it.
All right, so you're pro cookie. You're pro cookie. Sammy, can I have a cookie?
The cookie monster must be stopped.
Now, this is always creates a dilemma for both children and parents because the child always wants more cookie, and the parent never wants to give the child more than 2 cookies, right? They'll give the one, and then if they ask for one, like they'll want to give another one. But if the kid asks again, it's a huge problem, and they don't want to create that habit. So here's how we solve it. Kid gets a cookie, right? They ask for a cookie, they get a cookie. They get their whole cookie. Now, if they ask for more, parent gives half a cookie, right? Now, if the kid's still greedy and wants a little bit more, you give a quarter of a cookie. And then after that, it's an eighth of a cookie. So they're still getting their craving satisfied, and it becomes smaller and smaller until they've just become, their satisfaction levels out. But I'll tell you what, I'm a math major, okay? And what we've created here is an infinite series where you have 1 plus a half plus a fourth. It's a geometric sum, which adds up to 2, so the kid never gets more than 2 cookies.
Oh, wow.
I would also like to point out that if you're maybe familiar with a product called Milk Bones, and Milk Bones are a biscuit or maybe a cookie perhaps that actually the dog chews and they clean their teeth at the same time. And so I would propose the scientific cookie industrial complex do the research that is required in order to develop a cookie that will indeed clean your teeth at the same time and perhaps healthy for you. And if we can do that, we will be so far ahead of the curve, we will not even have to have another lockdown.
Wow. Vermin, that was such an incredible response.
Just give it to him. Just give it to him.
Vermin, you are the winner of this particular debate. Congratulations. That was it. I hope both of you gentlemen feel more prepared for the road ahead as you rush towards 2036. Thank you. Have a great day.
Very much looking forward to these weekly debates.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We'll see you right back here, same time, same place. Thank you so much, Keith, everybody. Yeah. Give it up for our resident game show host, Keith. Keith, crushing COVID. Keep crushing COVID.
Oh, yeah. That's really
Vermin,
really good.
We really appreciate you being on the program today. Is there any final words that you want to share with the world, or any additional things you want to plug of yours?
Well, I am sure there are. Absolutely. Of course, verminsupreme.com. That's the website. That's where that's where you'll find my merchandise and stuff and the little glass pipes. verminsupremeinstitute.com. Like I say, we added the word institute to my name and made a thing that's an institute. And we're actually doing things. We have an educational component. We have a public works component. We have a political component. We are an actual 501c4, some crap like that. I don't know, but it's official, and we're actually doing things like I referenced the food pantry and doing some various projects with the homeless, always looking for volunteers. And we have content and think pieces that are on there also. We have writers writing stuff. It's become a little weird and real. So we got that going on. Of course, patron, if you get a couple bucks you want to throw to me monthly, patreon.com/verminsupreme, and that money goes to the Institute. And I am on Cameo, cameo.com/verminsupreme. Short money. I do like a whole 5-minute skit bit with the ponies and lots of that stuff. And with your message, and that money goes to the Institute. apparently, what I did not realize when we formed an institute was that if you form an institute with your name on it, you're a little bit responsible for financially supporting it. So I have been able to raise on average like $250 a week, $1,000 a month to give to the Vermin Supreme Institute by doing cameos. So if you need a cameo for any reason whatsoever, hire me, and the more money we make, the more money we can give away. It's a really groovy thing going on there. Of course, High Noon with Vermin Supreme every Saturday at noon on YouTube there, Eastern Standard Time. I'm on Twitter, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Facebook. I don't know, whatever. Got the book. Don't forget the book. And Google, internet, plug stuff. Yeah, and of course, mutual aid. Mutual aid is very important to us all. It is the thing that keeps society running. So please check in on your friends, do good works, do nice things for people. If you see a need in your area, please try and find out how to address that need and put together a few people and make that happen. All that stuff, all the funny stuff, all the serious stuff. Does that answer your question? Plugs. Yes. Well, once again, I want to thank you very much, all you beautiful people, for having me on this wonderful show. Like I said, I apologize if I'm a little rusty. I ain't been doing a lot of media appearances because I got so burnt out on that during the election cycle. And so I wanted to thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to have a little bit of fun with you and your friends. Yeah. And maybe we can do it again sometime. And yeah, send me the link, and we'll share this appearance out there.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
For sure. And,
everybody, Vermin Supreme, come on now, let him hear it.
And remember, there are two types of people on this planet: those that love ponies and those that will not survive the transition times. Because the road to Bonatopia will not be easy. No. There will be hardships. Not all of us are going to make it. There will be sacrifices, human sacrifices. But let me assure you this: the road to Bonatopia will be paved with the glitter-encrusted skulls of our vanquished enemies. Because together, we're going to turn our ponies into a zombie-powered future. And that is why, now, more than ever, you must ask yourself, what are you going to name your pony?
I have no other words to say. That was amazing. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing your wisdom. We've learned that a presidential campaign isn't just about kissing babies, and it for sure isn't about sniffing them. Sometimes you just got to pull yourself up from your own bootstraps and put the boot on your head. You really got to make a statement. So I have a new policy, and that is when in 2036, I'm going to allow everybody to be president for one day. That's right. We're going to pass the nuclear football. You want to make an executive order to enable giraffes to run for office? We'll go neck and neck. All right. You want to change the pronunciation of the word crepe, right? Condoms for the elderly? Come on. The possibilities are endless. So anything you want, that's coming in 2036. Of course, I look forward to having Vermin back on the program, as we're going to be doing this every year until 2036. So it's glad we got some good practice in today. One more hand for our amazing guest. And now, a word from our sponsors.
Dr. Shumway wants you to brush 3 times a day, but don't take our word for it.
We recommend brushing at least twice a day and using floss and fluoride toothpaste. Mouthwash isn't a bad idea either.
Excuse me? Mouthwash? Whatever happened to good old-fashioned God-given spit? Come on. What are they hiding?
Plaque. Plaque can build up between your teeth and cause gum disease.
Oh, okay. Better up my Bubble Yum's life insurance.
Lack of proper dental hygiene has been proven not only to cause gingivitis, cavities, and mouth cancers, but it also leads to heart disease, dementia, and other life-threatening illnesses for humans.
Oh, yeah? Then how come cavemen didn't brush? Brushing your teeth is just the government's way to implant chips into your mouth.
That's not even possible.
99% of cancer patients have one thing in common. They all use toothbrushes.
Okay, everybody uses toothbrushes.
Everybody?
Well, they should.
There you have it. Dr. Shumway and Big Dental trying to control your lives. Don't be sheeple. Come on down to Toofies and get a twofer on your twofers. Toofies, the only dentist recommended by Kodiak Chewing Tobacco. What do you have to lose?
Your teeth.
Teeth? Who needs them? This message was brought to you by the National Association for Dentures.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you next time.
In 2020, I got an MRI and they found a lesion on my right frontal lobe. So a lot of friends recommended shrooms, and one of my friends was kind enough to mail them to me. So, federal offense, and he risked it for my brain. This is trippy as truth. Pure organic mushrooms.
Looks good. Really good energy from that one.
We'll touch on it right here. Still want to be friends.
Does it feel liberating being allowed to do drugs for the internet?
I don't know if we are allowed.
I think we took 4 caps, 4 stems, 4 cups of tea, 2 outfit changes. I think we're ready to go. The thing about shrooms is it kind of comes in waves, right? Does that make sense?
Oscillating like a fan.
There we go. And hopefully this makes us a few new fans. I'm already feeling exactly what I remember feeling, is that there's something at moments, very incomplete about it, and then all of a sudden it comes back and you're like, oh, this is it. This is why I'm doing this. It's like you're being nudged. It's like, yo, you're high. And you're like, what? No, you're high, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, this is amazing here. Like this with the backdrop of this is a new fence right here.
That's fresh.
That's new fence energy right there. Don't build walls, build fences. Like people who want to build walls between countries to keep their borders very clear. Maybe just try building a fence. You know?
Start with the fence.
Start with the fence. The same gesture of divisiveness, but
it's more like a neighbor vibe than like
exactly,
a keep out.
Exactly. You're actually going to be higher than me. You straight up down that whole cap and stem right away.
Dude, one stem in there, I was like, that's it?
It's systemic.
It's systemic.
What my issue was, with finding the lesion on my brain, and my complaints leading up to that was balance, lack of balance. I could feel my right side, but I couldn't fully feel my left side. But this whole time, I've just been wanting balance. I want to feel my left as much as I feel my right. This has been bothering the shit out of me because I just want things to be even. I just want things to be balanced. It's just a trip, dude.
Fuck. Not again, it's the balance.
Look at this. See, these are weeds.
Weeds are really like a representation of the immigrant experience. It's like the natives don't want them there, and they'll do their best to get them out, but at the end of the day, you can't get rid of them. They don't need much, and they still flourish.
Now that is an interesting theory, because I see the weeds as the indigenous, because they're everywhere. And people will weed them out of their garden to colonize their garden. I see weeds, I see beauty, I see nature's resilience. We put fucking concrete here, and these things are still like, no, I'm gonna still thrive.
Where do natives go from here, bro? Like, they're fucked. But immigrants aren't, because immigrants kind of have like a path forward. I think natives have a lot more common with white supremacists than they think they do, because they're all just trying to get back to the glory days.
And we all are trying to get back to glory days. Glory days are all we know. Now here, I want to show you something. These are all weeds, but it's beauty. This is nature just saying, hey, let me do what I want to do.
Yeah, the purple hits too, like.
Purple hits hard.
Dude, like, so.
Well, I will say, probably not that pleasant to lay down in these. Best thing about weed is, like, we're beautiful, but you're not welcome here. See, it wants it. It's putting its hand up. If these were humans, they would have sexual harassment cases all day. Nature did this in a matter of months with no effort.
Effort sucks.
It's like the new generation's look. Fuck effort.
Fuck effort.
Really, life should be effortless.
It should be.
It really should be.
When I was at Salesforce, the CEO said he didn't even have a laptop. He ran a company worth $500 million on an iPhone, bro. And I bet he doesn't even use the Salesforce app. He'll do the fun shit, like, oh, like, Obama's coming, I'm interviewing that guy.
When
Like,
Obama shows up, everyone wants to change. I feel like I'm peaking now, and the reason why is because I'm looking at my foot, and I'm like, that's not, like, this is mine?
Oh yeah,
And like the viewer can confirm, like, I see the foot is attached to your body, but this is where I'm at mentally. I'm like,
dude, you got me self-aware of my
is
limbs.
this mine?
Everything feels different on me now, which is like weird. I've kind of lost the symmetry, which is okay, because symmetry is overrated. I think we chase that too much. Like even in like those like trees and stuff, like there's nothing symmetrical about it. But like, what do humans do? We manicure it and we make it even.
So symmetry is what? A desire for a balance between left and right across an axis.
And see, humans prefer symmetry to a fault.
We want left to equal right,
Yeah,
right? We want one to be defined as left and one to be defined as right.
yeah.
So it's not like we want them to be the same.
We
We
just-
want them to be across the wall from each other, but living identical lives. So symmetry is the desire for separation, but equality. Separate, but equal.
We know that doesn't work. Yeah, symmetry is a fucked up concept, honestly. Fuck symmetry, because it's always divided by something. There's always one
entity that breaks symmetry and keeps it together at the same time.
right? That's a wall, right?
Yeah. You're telling me that I'm constructing a wall inside of myself.
See a bug or something?
I see a shadow, and I don't know if it's
Oh, it's okay, dude. Again, don't stay in the bubble unless someone breaks it.
balance. Even just the notion of balance is just it's a sort of prejudice.
Maybe your problem was thinking that there was a problem. You're just getting older, man. Yeah, what's wrong with that?
But you had me for a second. The getting older thing, that was like a young person throwing shade. When you hyper focus on a problem, you exacerbate it in your head no matter what, and your life becomes that problem. Turning a problem into a problem is always
A problem.
Dude, that's how fucking high I am right now. I'm like, I was looking at my ankle earlier, right? And I was like, is that mine? I'm looking into my own backpack. I'm like, is this mine?
Yeah.
Dude, who put this? Like, who put this? What's my water bottle? No, but in my defense, this is your notebook. So I'm like,
So
who put their fucking notebook in my... Oh, sorry. I can just start firing off some of these questions.
You want to talk about perseverance?
I think that's what you're about. Let's just make this moment very official. Doesn't matter
Where you're at, what's going on in your specific situation.
Persevere. You know what? I don't believe that you should persevere.
Yeah, fuck them. Fuck these people, bro.
Who told you you should persevere?
We said, dude, I
Give
should
up! What we're recording today, does it have any value? Does it have any value? Is it 4 p.m.? Because it was 3:49, like hours ago, dude.
I don't know, my phone's like, it's not 4 p.m.
Okay,
I'm
because...
I'm not blowing your mind
You
there.
fucked me up right there.
Dude, 1 through 4 p.m., it's like, who cares?
This is an example of our division. Even time is too divided.
Dude, literally, yes.
What is time but a bunch of fences?
Time is fences.
It's a bunch of fences. It's saying 1 o'clock is different than 2 o'clock, 2:30 is different from 3:30. It's a fence. You're putting a fence in every pocket.
And you know what? It's offensive. Get it? Get it? Oh, did it go over your head?
No, I mean,
Oh,
it's-
fence? Steve?
Do you know that you're citing one of my jokes, or are you...
Really?
I'm sorry. Is that offensive?
God damn it.
Do you understand where it's like, you're like, offensive, and I'm like, I'm not responding to it. Like, no, do you get it, you fucking moron? When that was
I just
when
explained your own
I
joke
spent
to
my
you.
life, like, no, do you guys get it? Offensive? Meanwhile, I'm on a fucking fence. Do you understand what that feels like? I feel like I'm caught on this fence right now.
Damn.
Am I? Nope. Nope. This is just a quick PSA to all landowners out there. You don't own shit. But that's how crazy social media is. And I don't know right now if I'm actually speaking to billions of people.
Tens.
Tens of
That's what it is. It's always a gamble. It's like billion tens of people. Okay, thank you so much. We were talking about symmetry and the abuses of symmetry. Problem was, I was saying, why is my right, left, this? You're like, no, you are the wall. You are the problem. You are the fence. You are the problem. Why are you making a problem? Making a problem is the problem.
Your left will never feel just like your right. Like your non-dominant will never feel like
Give it
your
up.
dominant. Yeah.
Give it up. Perseverance.
Today, bro.
Perseverance was your sober thought. Your sober thought was like, no, persevere.
Go on, bro.
And we're like, no, dude, it's okay. Because if everything needs to persevere, then so do problems. We're at a huge kind of contradiction. That we came here to solve problems, but the problem was that we were thinking that there was problems. I hope that at least gets shared to 10 people.
Anything from above, it looks fucking dumb.
And it's funny that you're saying it because I'm looking at these ducks and these are your problems.
That's life, bro. No one's better, no one's worse, but everything is stupid. Everything is stupid at one point or another, and some things are just perpetually dumb.
Would you be able to repeat that if I asked you to repeat it? Probably not. So in a sense, today we solved absolutely nothing. Give up.
Give up. And honestly, the best way possible. Just give up.
Hey everybody, Chai has a very profound statement that I want everybody to hear.
Just close the tabs in your brain.
Close the tabs in your brain. This comes from a guy who he was working earlier today and now he's shrooming.
Dude.
Close the tabs in your brain. Close the tabs in your brain. A tab open is something that's unresolved, right?
Right.
Close the tabs in your brain. Turn around. Yeah, you want to see it? Oh, I see it. Alright.
Damn.
Dude, you look great.
Thanks.
This is a beautiful shot.
Close
This is
the
a beautiful
tabs in your brain.
I will post this every day until it catches on. Probably somebody has said it before.
Somebody has said it.
It doesn't matter. It needs to be said again.
Just give up.
Give it up.
Give it up.
Give up! It
Yeah,
literally made me feel better to say